Hello everyone, my name is Nicole and this is my Disability Studies and Deaf Culture presentation. So what is deaf culture? Hadley had described deaf culture is both defined and bound by these individuals' deafness and their particular language. 90% of children that are born deaf are born into hearing families in which the child is acclimated to the hearing culture to begin with. So when the child is born with hearing parents, they are automatically put into the hearing culture because that's all that the parents know. They don't know sign language yet, so they're not placed into the deaf culture. So the deaf culture does not view themselves as disabled, but the ability to communicate through unique visual language, which is sign language. The deaf culture believes that the discrimination of society is what makes them disadvantaged, not disabled. So discrimination in deaf culture. Discrimination when it comes to unemployment, income, and education. The deaf culture is at a disadvantage for all of these. There was a video that was discussed or shown actually in session 1 by Marika, and she is deaf, and she discusses how she was discriminated against when she was in school. So her first experience of this discrimination was when she was in class and she was signing with another girl. The teacher actually stopped them from signing, and she told them that they were not allowed. Also, when she was going to graduate, she had talked to her counselor and told her counselor, her future career choice of being a pilot, and the counselor discouraged her from being a pilot because she said, if you're deaf, how are you going to hear the airline and what's going on and be able to steer the plane? So in an article by Levi, he said, if society were structured to allow for the full participation of the deaf, they maintain the negative effects of deafness would be entirely eliminated. So he's basically saying that if there were no accessibility issues in society, for the deaf, then they would be 100% accepted in society, and they wouldn't have this discrimination because they would be able to live their lives as normal as a hearing person in society. Cochlear implants. So cochlear implants, there's a huge controversy about them in the deaf community. To begin, a cochlear implant is a device that is surgically implanted with the purpose of restoring hearing and speech to those who are severely or profoundly deaf. Members of the deaf community find it to be a threat. They find it to be a threat because they say that if more people are going to be using cochlear implants, then less people are going to be part of the deaf community, which leaves them to kind of be invisible amongst time if more people are going to be getting cochlear implants. So as the use of cochlear implant increases, the deaf culture can face bigger discriminations for those without the assistive devices. The deaf culture also sees a cochlear implant as a fix or a cure to a condition that does not need to be repaired. So people usually say, like, a cochlear implant can fix somebody's deafness, but there's nothing to fix about being deaf. And people think that it's a condition that needs to be fixed or cured. Members of the deaf community are supportive of this advice if it is seen for what it actually is, as an assistive technology rather than a miracle cure. So the deaf community knows that that a cochlear implant is something good to have, but it's not a permanent fix or a permanent cure for being deaf. It's an assistive technology. So the consent for cochlear implants, there's a concern that the parental consent for the fate of the deafness is chosen by a non-competent individual, meaning when a baby is born deaf, the only person that can determine if they are to get an implant is the parents. And by non-competent individuals, they mean that are the parents actually understanding the pros and cons of having a cochlear implant, or do they just want their kid to be able to hear? So the child's language, culture, education, employment, and social life need to be understood when making these executive decisions for the child. Some people say, like, oh, just let the child wait until they're about 13, or they can make their own decision about this. But this can also affect their their window of development. Their window of development is from when they're born to about 3 years old. That's like the biggest window that they can learn a language by. Um, and this decreases the opportunities for the child to learn and grasp an oral language. So the history of the deaf culture in 1715, the first case was inherited. The first case of inherited deafness was discovered with a man and his two sons. This hereditary trait of deafness was believed to be brought to the island of Martha's Vineyard hundreds of years ago. The highest frequency of deaf babies was 1 out of every 4 babies. So they question, why are there so many deaf babies being born? It's because that the villages were so small and everybody knew everybody, so the inbreeding was going on within the small villages. So the deaf gene was being inherited by many families, and the Martha's Vineyard was known to be an island full of deaf people. Sign language. So in Martha's Vineyard, in the Western Islanders, they all acclimated to the sign language community, which means they were all being taught it. They taught their children how to do basic sign language in order to be able to communicate with family, friends, and neighbors. They also would always include deaf people in their conversation. So, they would always invite them places and try to speak with them, because they were able to communicate with them because they all they all knew how to sign. Also, church services are in sign language. So the whole service would be in sign language, and basically everybody understood what was said in the service. If you didn't understand, then you would be able to ask the person next to you and they would be able to translate for you. So in 1817, sign language made it to the United States, and the islanders, when they came to the United States from Martha's Vineyard, they saw American Sign Language as foreign. So they were not understanding the sign language that was going on in America compared to what they have been used to. So less people were being born in the United States deaf. That's because when the islanders, the Western Islanders, were coming into the United States, and the United States had less deaf people, the marriage between the hearing people and deaf people increased. So sign language was being used less and taught less. The deaf schools, there was a popular school for the deaf in Berkeley, called Berkeley, which is in California. In the 19th century, deaf children did not have family, really, so they were taken in by institutions and asylums, and they taught them sign language and took care of them. So in these asylums, the deaf children were surrounded by other deaf children just like them. It was kind of like a mirroring effect, where they were exactly like them. They did the same things as them. So these children were losing they had lost identity. They didn't know who they really were, because there was no diverse personalities around them, because everybody was taught the same, to act the same and everything. There was also physical and sexual abuse in these asylums, and the deaf schools are referred to as special schools. So basically, what to take away from this presentation is being deaf is not a disability. Cochlear implants are a threat to the deaf. Cochlear implants are a threat to the deaf culture, because the less deaf people there are going to be, the more discrimination they're going to experience. Parents need to be fully informed before making decisions for their deaf baby. I think this one is very important, because if they're having a cochlear implant is not exactly what it seems like. The child doesn't just hear automatically. It could actually surprise them a lot when they first get it, because of the sounds that they hear might just be a shock to them, and they might not be experiencing it as greatly as the parents would think. And they also have to still go through different forms of therapy to learn, like speech therapy, how to say things. Also, the acceptance and normalization of being deaf in society decreases immensely, which is why the deaf culture is constantly discriminated against. So when I was doing my research of how the deaf community was very much accepted by the Islanders on Martha's Vineyard, it made me happy to read that, because they didn't experience any discrimination except for when they came to the United States. That's when the discrimination started, and how deaf people didn't really have the accessibility they needed, because there were less deaf people. But that shouldn't be how it is. They should still be, even though deaf people or the deaf culture is not the majority of society, they should still be accepted and normalized. And I do think that in schools, I think that children in elementary schools should still learn basic sign language, whether it's the letters, whether it's just basic things that could be taught. That way, they are able to communicate, at least a little bit, if they run into a deaf person. And I think this would help. This would help the deaf community feel more accepted if their culture was being taught in schools and even in jobs, and jobs were already set to accommodate their needs. I think that would be great. This was a very good topic to research. I actually learned a lot, and I hope you guys learned a lot too. Thanks. Bye.